Tag. The Alchemy of Persuasion. Crafting impactful messaging for social change movements in an era where information flows faster than ever. The power of words can ignite revolutions or dissolve movements overnight. For activists striving to create meaningful change, mastering the art of impactful messaging is not merely advantageous, it's essential. This exploration delves into the intricate science behind crafting messages that resonate deeply within communities, spark collective action, and sustain long-term engagement in the fight for justice and equity. Decoding the psychological frameworks behind effective messaging at its core, impactful messaging taps into fundamental human psychology, leveraging cognitive biases and emotional triggers to shape perceptions and drive behavior. Understanding these mechanisms allows activists to craft narratives that cut through the noise of modern media saturation. One key principle involves the use of scarcity. By emphasizing limited resources or time-sensitive opportunities, messages gain urgency and compel immediate action. This psychological trigger has been shown to increase response rates by up to 68% according to behavioral economics research. Emotional resonance plays an equally critical role, as studies demonstrate that emotionally charged messages are remembered 9 times longer than neutral ones. However, maintaining balance between empathy and factual accuracy remains crucial. Overly dramatic portrayals risk undermining credibility. Cognitive dissonance. Creating tension between current beliefs and new information can motivate individuals to re-evaluate their positions when presented with compelling evidence. Social proof. Highlighting widespread support from respected community figures or mass participation validates the cause and reduces perceived risks associated with joining efforts. The architecture of compelling storytelling in activism. Storytelling transcends mere communication. It becomes a bridge connecting individual experiences to broader societal issues. The most effective activist stories follow a structured narrative arc that builds momentum toward desired outcomes. A well-crafted story typically includes 3 essential components: a relatable protagonist facing challenges, obstacles creating tension, and resolution through collective action. These elements mirror universal storytelling patterns found across cultures worldwide. Visual elements significantly enhance message retention, with research showing that incorporating images increases memory recall by over 40%. When paired with personal anecdotes, visuals transform abstract concepts into tangible realities people can relate to. However, ethical considerations must guide visual representation. Misleading imagery or staged scenes can erode trust, while authentic documentation preserves integrity without exploiting vulnerable subjects. Leveraging data and evidence to strengthen advocacy efforts. Data-driven messaging provides objective foundation upon which emotional appeals can be built, creating persuasive synergy between facts and feelings. Informed advocates understand how to present statistical evidence in ways that engage rather than overwhelm audiences. Choosing appropriate data visualization techniques is vital. Infographics simplify complex datasets while timelines illustrate progress over time. These tools make abstract numbers accessible to diverse demographics, including those less familiar with technical jargon. Contextualization ensures raw data doesn't become meaningless numbers. Presenting statistics alongside real-world examples creates memorable connections, such as pairing poverty rates with actual family stories affected by economic disparities. Critical evaluation of sources maintains credibility, requiring verification against multiple independent references before sharing quantitative claims. Transparency about methodology strengthens public trust in advocacy campaigns. Tailoring messages across diverse communities and contexts. Effective messaging acknowledges cultural nuances that influence perception and interpretation. What resonates strongly in one demographic might fall flat entirely among another due to varying values and historical contexts. Purposeful translation goes beyond literal language conversion. It requires understanding idiomatic expressions and nonverbal cues relevant to target communities. Cultural consultants often play pivotal roles in ensuring messages maintain intended meaning across linguistic boundaries. Local knowledge integration makes messages feel authentically connected rather than imposed from outside. Incorporating regional dialects, local landmarks, and culturally significant symbols fosters deeper engagement with community members. Adapting messaging style to different platforms further enhances effectiveness. Short-form social media posts require punchy headlines, whereas long-form articles allow space for nuanced arguments and supporting evidence. Building resilience through strategic communication planning. Consistent messaging frameworks help maintain organizational coherence during dynamic movement phases. Clear guiding principles ensure alignment across various outreach channels even as campaign priorities evolve. Scenario planning prepares communicators for unexpected developments by establishing pre-approved responses to potential controversies. Having contingency plans minimizes disruption when misinformation spreads rapidly online. Metric tracking enables continuous improvement by identifying which messaging strategies achieve highest engagement levels. Regular analysis informs adjustments while preserving overall strategic direction towards movement objectives. Budget allocation decisions benefit from prioritizing high-impact communication initiatives based on demonstrated effectiveness metrics rather than arbitrary preferences alone. Harnessing digital platforms for modern movement building. Digital spaces offer unprecedented reach but also present unique challenges for message delivery. Platform-specific features dictate optimal formats ranging from video content dominating TikTok feeds to threaded discussions thriving on Reddit forums. Algorithm awareness helps maximize visibility since each platform favors particular types of content differently. Understanding these tendencies allows strategists to optimize posting schedules and formatting choices accordingly. Interactive elements like polls and Q&A sessions foster two-way conversations that build stronger relationships with followers compared to passive consumption models. These interactions provide valuable feedback shaping future messaging approaches. Safety protocols remain paramount given digital harassment risks faced by many activists. Secure communication channels protect both organizers and participants engaged in sensitive causes while maintaining transparency about protective measures taken. Creating sustained engagement beyond initial outcry. Long-term impact depends on cultivating enduring commitment rather than relying solely on momentary outrage. Structured engagement pathways convert initial interest into lasting involvement through progressive activation stages. Progressive disclosure gradually reveals increasing complexity of issues at hand, preventing information overload while building expertise incrementally. This approach mirrors educational curricula designed for knowledge acquisition over extended periods. Regular updates keep supporters informed about ongoing developments and reinforce the importance of continued participation. Transparent reporting on achievements and remaining challenges maintains accountability while setting realistic expectations. Recognition programs celebrate contributions at various levels, from volunteer hours logged to financial donations made, creating positive reinforcement loops that encourage sustained involvement in movement work. Measuring message effectiveness through actionable metrics. Quantifiable indicators track direct impacts of messaging efforts across multiple dimensions, including awareness level changes, attitude shifts, and actual behaviors adopted as results. Surveys measuring pre/post exposure attitudes provide insight into evolving perceptions related to specific issues addressed in campaigns. Comparative analyses reveal whether messaging successfully altered viewpoints as intended. Behavioral analytics trace actions taken after encountering messages, offering concrete evidence linking communications to observable outcomes like increased voter registration or policy inquiries. Cost-benefit assessments evaluate resource allocation efficiency by comparing investment required versus measurable returns achieved from different messaging strategies employed. Fostering collaborative networks through shared narratives. Interconnected storytelling builds bridges between seemingly disparate groups working toward common goals. Cross-movement collaborations strengthen collective bargaining power while diversifying perspectives incorporated into shared narratives. Joint publications and co-hosted events create opportunities for mutual learning experiences that enrich messaging repertoires available to participating organizations. These exchanges facilitate innovation by exposing teams to alternative approaches tested elsewhere. Unified brand identities emerge naturally from consistent thematic elements repeated across affiliated entities' communications. This cohesion reinforces legitimacy when multiple trusted voices amplify similar calls to action simultaneously. Community-led storytelling initiatives empower grassroots contributors whose lived experiences add authenticity to broader movement narratives. Their first-hand accounts often carry greater weight than top-down communications alone. Conclusion: crafting impactful messaging for social change demands deep understanding of psychological principles, cultural sensitivities, technological landscapes, and measurement methodologies. It requires balancing emotion with evidence, individual stories with systemic analysis, and immediate needs with long-term vision. To truly move mountains in pursuit of justice, activists must commit themselves continuously to refining their communication strategies while staying rooted in the transformative power of truthfully told stories that inspire action now and hope for tomorrow.